Hey, you fucks. Thanks for, checking out the videos, showing a little bit of support. How about you take it to the next level and show us some love over there on Patreon, huh? Huh? Huh?
Yep, I just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich, and they said, "Do you come from a land down under?" Bumpo doo 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 doo. Hi everybody, yo. It's your good boy Papa Tikyo coming to you live from the Tokyo. It's a beautiful sunny day, and but the weather report says it's gonna rain for like 2 hours in a bit. And I might have to take down my laundry. Oh God, I don't know if it's dry yet. I guess we'll find out. Ha ha ha. Anyway, how you guys doing today? Thank you, and thank you for always attending and checking out this awesome series of ADV Japan's TKO Rant series. Muchos apreciados por flavors. Yeah, guys, today we're talking about a TV show that I just got done watching because I'm like, the great thing about the ADV Japan TKO Rant series is not just that we're talking about Japan stuff, but we're talking about stuff that I like, that I think you guys will like. And so I want to shout it out, I want to get in there, just rub the nipples, all that stuff. And so, I don't know, it's like out of all these other Western countries out there, Dad comes from cheeseburger freedom and guns country, right? So, that's where Dad, originates from, right? But there's a bunch of other Western countries in Japan, or not in Japan, in the world, right? Like, there's a bunch of different other places, too, and including Aussie land. And this video that I'm showing as the background footage right now, this is actually, what is it? This is on the west coast of Australia. I haven't actually been to the west coast. I've only been to the southeast coast. Well, I've only been to Adelaide. But yeah, it's just like, out of all these other Western countries out there, the Western countries that I feel the most, like the second closest to, like I have, it's funny, like my brother, he's been to Ireland and South of Africa and Australia and I think Canada too. So he's been to all these other whitey, Western countries, right, that speak English and shit. And for me, I always prided myself on that, like, I never visited those countries. I always tried to get really outside of my comfort zone by going to places that were completely different, that didn't speak English as a main language, places like Hong Kong or South Korea, Thailand, places. I mean, like, that's the great thing about living in Asia is that, like, you have access to all the rest of Asia, and you're not paying the same plane prices that you would pay if you're coming from like America or something, right? And there's just such a big contrast when it comes to culture and geography and whatever, right? But God, I don't even remember, when was this, like 2016 or something. I mean, for all of you guys who have been watching me for a while, which I think is a majority of people, like, we get new people here on occasion, but for the most part, it's all old school people that followed me at one point watching this stuff. And if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I hooked up with these Aussie YouTubers a couple years ago that were named Raka Raka. And they made a bunch of, they would make like really high quality videos where like they were just like very violent parodies of stuff, like Lord of the Rings versus Game of Thrones, or like Marvel versus DC, and but it was really good. It was really violent, a lot of dark humor, and it totally meshed with me. And anyway, those guys, long story short, they came to Japan, and we became friends, and then they invited me to come hang out with them in Australia, and that's what I did. So, and then I think I've been to Australia like twice now. So, yeah, it's been fun. Like, I really do, I mean, to be fair, I've only been to one city, so I don't really know, I can't really speak for all of Australia, but, because it's so funny, everybody in that fucking town, like, hated it. Why did you go to Shitadelaide, mate? And I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. But anyway, we're gonna talk about, like, my time in Australia. We're gonna talk about this TV show that I found thanks to YouTube Shorts. And yeah, I want to talk to you guys about it and all this stuff. So before I get into everything else, let me just shout out Let me just shout out, do some self-promo here. First off, guys, thank you so much for everybody who goes over to patreon.com/TKOSam and helps me out over there. I don't make a lot of money off of Google AdSense, if barely anything. I make like $10 or something usually, because it's either nobody watches my videos or I said the F word too many times and they're like, yeah, advertisers don't like this. And now YouTube's doing a thing where, like, before I used to manually be able to choose where to put my ads in the video, and YouTube's like, no, you can't do that anymore now. Like, we're gonna do it for you. Well, I mean, you can manually put in the video, the ad slots, but you know, we're only gonna actually put ads where we think there's gonna be ads to make sure that the watch time is longer. But don't worry, our algorithm knows how to do it. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. So I'll probably be making even less money than I am on Google AdSense moving forward, but. Yeah, guys, it's just, you know, Patreon's a legit chill site. I've been on there for years, and there's just a ton of bonus content there for anybody who's serious or not serious. You know, we've got, like, behind-the-scenes footage and, like, blogs and everything, but if you guys ever wanted to learn Japanese or get some packages from Japan, you know, I offer those services too. And if you're coming to visit Japan, I offer a tour service too, where I can take you guys around Tokyo to all these cool spots that aren't going to be showing up on TikTok or any other touristy videos. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you guys are interested. And hell, even if it's just $1, guys, it still helps, and you also get your name at the end of the video, so it's a win-win for everybody. And yeah, all that sexy hot jazz. And yeah, even if you guys don't like Patreon, you can still help me out by super chatting, becoming a member by pushing that join button, and or leaving a super thanks in the comments down below. And yeah, speaking of which, this week, big shout out to this guy who did a super thanks. But anyways, big shout out and thank you to you big dicked man. Thank you so much for the love and support, guys. And yeah, we always do a live stream after I release these videos, so I'll probably see you guys at the end of this video once it finishes. But yeah, always appreciate you guys, and remember, every dollar that you guys throw at me through the super chat or Patreon, it helps extend the live streams afterwards. So you know that we call them reverse child support live streams. You're paying so dad doesn't go to the store and then he hangs out, and we always have fun topics to talk about during the live stream. So anyway, yeah, that's the thing. And even if you guys don't want to throw money at me, you can still help me out and show your appreciation for the channel by smashing the like button and leaving a comment. And I guess the comment question of the day is, are any of you guys who watch my channel Australian? And if you're Australian, like, what city are you in, and do you like it? And if you're not Australian, have you ever been to Australia? And if you have been to Australia, like, how many times, and like, where did you go in Australia? What did you like? You know, tell me your story about going to Australia, because it's not just a news story, it's also a discussion, Philip DeFranco style. I love your faces, and I will see you on the next one. God, even though he's a leftist fucking shill libtard douchebag, I still watch Philip DeFranco every time he releases a video, because I need to know what they're thinking. Ugh. I'm working on my second cup of coffee right now. Can you technically call it a second cup of coffee if you originally filled it up to the brim with ice, and then for the second cup of coffee there's only like 1/6 of the cup left of ice because it's melted so much? I don't know. I mean, I like, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I really love iced coffee. I can't get enough of iced coffee. It tastes good. And I don't know. I mean, like, are any of you guys, like, how many of you guys are hot drinkers? Like, what do you prefer? Like, especially in the morning. Do you need a hot drink? Do you need a cold drink? I mean, it might just be because I'm fat, even though other fat people have denied this, but it's just like, I'm fat, so I'm always hot. You know, like, I can be, like, I have a pretty good, whatchamacallit, you know, like if I'm just sitting at home and I'm not moving around, then, like, yeah, like, it gets kind of cold. But, like, if I'm walking around even a little bit, like, I get, you know, like, I can go outside while most people are wearing multiple layers, and of course, because, like, you're fat, right? But, you know, like, that's why in summer it's really hard for me, because I'm already hot on the inside, hot in the ass and ready to fuck. I'm already hot on the inside, so when it's hot outside, it's just amplifying it. That's why, like, fat people don't really like going into hot tubs or, like, hot springs. that much. It's just because, yeah, it's just like it's already elevating your hot body. And so, like, to kind of counteract that, it really makes me feel good when I'm drinking cold drinks. And so when I'm at home, I have a big thermos of lemon water that I blend with green tea in the morning. And it's just like half of the thermos. It's a 3-liter thermos, and half of it's filled with ice, and it's just so good. And yeah, and I fill that up maybe once in the morning and then once in the evening. And I might fill it up more. Like last night, I had a really nice bath. And yeah, guys, I gotta say, man, like for all of you guys, it doesn't matter if you don't have a Japanese bath like me. Like Japanese baths are pretty deep. Like Western style baths, you have to lay down in them, but Japanese baths are like they're meant so the water can go up to, like, you know, when I was laying down in like a Western bath, the annoying thing is like you always float up. You know, you're not able to really sit down unless you put your legs up out of the water, kind of thing, right? So, but Japanese baths are great. You just sit there, enjoy it, and God, I've just been really, really, really enjoying. One of my mods recommended that. He's like, since you always put coconut oil in your hair, you should try putting it in your bath. And I'm like, put oil in the bath? And he's like, you watched that TV show Rome, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, remember those scenes with all those hot chicks and they're all naked in the oil bath? Holy shit, yeah. And he's like, what, you think it was they weren't putting oil in the oil bath? I'm like, oh yeah, no, I always assume that oil will fuck up your pipes. So, like, you know, why would you do that? And he's like, well, you don't do it every fucking time, dude, obviously. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So, like, one of the ways that I counteract that with the oil baths is that, like, I'll use dish soap, because dish soap is good for, like, breaking down oil and shit. So, like, I'll run the faucet, or I guess not the faucet, what do you call it? What do you call it? Is the faucet is for the sink and the bath, right? I guess I run the bath faucet where it's like boiling hot water, and I just let that kind of run for like 10 minutes plus, and I'll put some dish soap in there so it just kind of, you know, runs its course or whatever, and then I'll do that like maybe twice. You know, I don't try to put oil in every time, but like, God, my skin feels so fucking moisturized. My hair feels so much better. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, my hair always felt really dry and fucked up. Even when it wasn't bleached, it was just always kind of dry and shit. And I'm really particular about the kind of like products I use, like for my shampoo and conditioner. Like, that's the thing. Like, when you have long hair, I guess if you're bald, like this guy Ray and Mister in between, you don't really need to use shampoo or conditioner. And I, like, one of my friends, like her husband, he doesn't like using shampoo. He only uses conditioner. So I forgot. It's just like all these guys are like, no, I don't want to use it or whatever. But I don't really mind, you know. Like, it's not that big a deal for me to use that stuff. But Japanese brands are usually really shitty. So I import mine from America. Well, no, for the body wash, I use regular antibacterial soap for my body. Or for like the crevices, you know, the dark sweaty places, and then for everywhere else, I use this coconut butter lotion, this body wash I got off of iHerb. But for the shampoos and conditioners now, like I have two kinds. I have like these natural ones that are pretty good, but they were expensive, so I stopped buying them from iHerb. And then I have these Japanese ones, and this like the shampoo is like kind of like a tea natural mint blend one that's really nice, and then the conditioner that I use is this Tsubaki, which I don't know, whenever I would go to like love hotels and stuff, they always had that there, and I was like, wow, these are really nice. Like, I like this one. It makes my hair feel really nice and slick afterwards. So yeah, I have those. And the cool thing is like, you buy these and you can buy them in bulk if you buy the bag version of them. And so you just buy one bottle and then you just keep refilling it. And it kind of like what I did with the Aunt Jemima bottle. They're never taking away that beautiful old black lady from me, I tell you what. I love you, Aunt Jemima. I wonder in Australia, did they ever have Aunt Jemima? Like when I was in Australia, like it seemed like they didn't really like they didn't have like American cereal. It was so weird. Like I don't know, just like everything kind of tasted bland in Australia, and that was from me coming from Japan to Australia. It just seemed like there was no umami with anything. Like they had bread, they had I don't know. I'll have to try it out. You know, like I think if I went back there a second time, like I stayed at this Airbnb of this guy Bruce, and he was a fucking legend, mate. He was just this guy who was like an investment banker, who like eventually he was just like, you know what, like I'm tired of working here. I can work for myself, and like he's like the clients will come with me if I leave here. So he just left, and then he just like. He just spent most of his time like playing Red Dead Redemption and shit, and like online and just chilling. He was such a chill dude, and anyway, yeah, that was fun, and like God, he even threw like a dinner party with his friends when like while I was over there, and that was just really nice of him, and it was cool. Like I don't know, that is one thing that's really nice about going to. I don't know. I don't know about other places because I've only been to Australia for like other English speaking countries, but when you go to a place where they obviously have a different accent while they're speaking, they do, they are kind of like, oh, like you are kind of like a rarity, and they think, like some guys thought I was just putting it on, and they're like, what? Like, are you, like, oh, you're just an Aussie pretending to be American? I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And they're like, no, you know, they're like, come on, mate, you stop fucking putting on the Yankee accent. You're not fooling anyone, mate, you know? And I was like, dude, I have a YouTube, go check it out. Like, I am an American, but, I don't know, it's just, it is fun to kind of get that, and, like, you see all these different cultures, you know? Like, that's the, like, what is that old Mark Twain quote? Like, the travel is the worst thing that a man can have, you know, because it's gonna open up his mind and change his perception about everything. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, that's fucking, there you go. There you fucking go, mate. Yeah, but, I don't know. Anyway, it's just, we went from talking about Australia to food to fucking like shampoos and conditioners and stuff, and yeah, the whole point is, guys, try olive baths, or not olive baths, try oil baths, coconut oil mixed with Epsom lavender bath salts, and then 2 other bath tablets. Oh my god, it's so good, and it is, ma'am. God, like that's one thing, man. Like I never really took baths until I moved into this apartment. It's like, what a waste, dude. Like showers are great and everything, but like just giving your body a nice Mormon soak. Mormon soaking. Well, I'm never gonna ever say regular soaking ever again after hearing what Mormons do. I was like, you guys do what? You do what? It's called soaking. If you guys don't know what soaking is, somebody write it down in the comment section to let everybody else know what soaking is. Oh, mate, you get a good soak in this morning, eh? Go to get some good coffee. You know, I do have to say that Australia did have some like really nice coffee though. Like Aussies like really pride themselves even on their like regular coffee. Like I understand if they're talking about like cafe coffee, but like there was this blue collar coffee that they really liked to drink when I was down there. It was like a carton, but I think the writing was in blue, and it was just like pre-made coffee in a carton, and that tasted really fucking good. But I mean, it could have just had a lot of sugar in it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like I don't know. Australia does good coffee, man. Like I can't complain. It was really nice. They got some good fucking coffee there, mate. Yeah, I tell you what. I love it too how Australians say like instead of "what do you think," they say "what do you reckon." You know, it's so fun when you see people using different language. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, mate, yeah, fucking like and they had like this food called toasties, which is basically like just regular sandwiches, but they put them in a waffle iron, and then they just heat them up like that, and it's great. They're basically like anything that goes in a sandwich, mate, you can make a sandwich out of. And I'm like, what? And so, like, you know, these, like, I remember, like, some of the guys at the Rocket House, one of them was feeling a little bit of a cheeky monkey, and so he put, like, SpaghettiOs or something into there, and, like, with some cheese, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like, well, because he had been to Japan, and he's like, well, if in Japan, if they can do that with yakisoba bread, why can't we do that in Australia? I'm like, yeah, no, good point. So, but yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, no, just Australia. It's you gotta just when it's so funny because like whenever I was in Australia, like Aussies are so self-deprecating. Like they're always like our culture, at least in Adelaide. I can only speak about Adelaide, but they're like Australia's shit. Our accents are shit. We're not cool. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like every fucking action movie that's ever been out in America, you know who automatically is the badass? It's the Australian guy. Like any fucking rock climbing movie or action movie, the most badass guy is always the Australian dude. And so like Australians are always like, yeah, mate, but we're not fucking, he's cool. We're not cool. And I'm like, you guys are so cool, man. You have no, like, stop hating yourselves. You're fucking badass. Stop being a bitch. But yeah, it's just like there's a lot of things that are different about Australia too, and the thing is that like, look, I guess we can get into the main topic now. We're done spieling. We've already done the Swiss talking, shooting the shit for the first 10 to 20 minutes. This is how we conduct the business, le business. It's like I think everybody should go and visit Australia at least once in their life because it's just again it's like Western culture, but it's different. And I think one of the best ways to kind of find out or see what Australia is like, I mean, just like anything, like Japan or anything, is like watch an actual movie or TV shows from that country. Now Australia does have some really good TV shows though. Like they have god damn it, why can't I fucking... Of course, when I'm talking about the Australian TV shows, I can't think of the name. There's this comedian guy named Chris, and his whole spiel is that he does, like, the Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor thing, where he'll play, like, 6 different characters in one TV show, and he is so funny. And it's like, if you ever wanted to learn about Japanese TV show, or, like, Japanese culture... if you want to learn about Japanese culture... You can watch TV shows like Kinpachi Sensei or like, anime like Crayon Shin-chan that really shows the day-to-day life that like normal people can relate to kind of thing. And in Australia, like you can watch other TV shows like god damn it, I follow the guy on Instagram. Why can't I remember? If any Aussie people are watching, please tell me what what was the name of it? God damn it. Something Hills or something, because like Australia has some really decent TV shows, man, and like especially cooking shows. They got really good cooking shows over there. But yeah, anyway, the point is though is that like I really love crime shows though. Like that's like my favorite genre of TV show or movies to watch. I mean, hell, like my favorite movie of all time probably is Goodfellas, and that's a crime movie. But that's more about like Martin Scorsese's storytelling plus crime, because there's been like if you like crime movies, there's a shit ton, but they're all shitty. It's not just about crime; it's about how you tell the story. But in Australia too, like Australia's got an interesting element to its own crime stories because Australia got rid of guns like in 1995 or something. Like apparently, you used to be able to own like a lot of badass guns, like maybe shotguns or rifles or like some bigger handguns, but in like I think it's 1995. In 1995, there's like there was like an island that's off the coast of Australia that's like really close by. You can like it's you don't need to take a boat there or whatever. And this guy said like he got inspired by like the Child's Play movies and he went crazy and he like killed like 30 people. And then Australia pulled to New Zealand and then they just banned guns like right after that. And like they banned all the guns and like people had to trade them in or else they get arrested, and then like they melted down all the guns and shit. And so it's like it's not like America where it doesn't matter if it's a gun-free zone. There's so like America's so flooded with all these guns that have not been registered or the serial number's been filed off and everything. So yeah, like that's so Australia's like I don't know if it's like the UK. Like in the UK, you can't have I think you can't have a knife or whatever. Like you can't, like UK, like you can have like a little pocket knife or something, or you can have a bag of acid or some shit, but you can't have a gun. And And Australia, like, the only people that really have guns are people that are, I think, like, in Australia you can have a handgun, but it's very, very anal about how you get that handgun, and it has to be for, like, a shooting range and stuff. And, like, in Japan there's a lot of paperwork to get whatchamacallit, to get just a gun. And in Japan you can still get a gun, but it's basically you get a shotgun, and it's not a pump action shotgun. It's one of those shotguns where it can load 2 rounds into it, and then you, like, shoot it once and then, like, shoot it again, and then you have to reload it. and then after, like, 10 years of, like, doing that diligently, then you can sign up to get a rifle. And like, a rifle, I think it's like a bolt action rifle or something. And it's funny because, like, in order to shoot deer, like, or a wild boar, those things are usually far away, and shotguns don't really have that much range, right? Even if it's like the buckshot or whatever. And so, like, even most hunters that have shotguns, like, they usually have to use it in mountains where they, like, encounter an animal versus, like, having to plan it out and actually snipe it or whatever, or they just trap it. But yeah, in Australia, I don't know about shotguns, if you guys are allowed to have shotguns or rifles, but like, when I asked ChatGPT, it says you can have handguns, but they have to be very small, and you have to do a lot of paperwork and stuff, and it's all for, like, shooting range shit. And the only guns that are left are, like, guns that were, like, from the war, like, from, like, earlier wars or whatever, that, like, people just didn't turn in. Like, it seems like Australia doesn't really have that much of, like, an importing gun culture. Like, in Taiwan, people import guns all the time. But in Japan, same thing in Japan. Like, Japan, most of the guns that are in Japan are, like, pre-war handguns, you know? In fact, they made a whole movie about this called Nippon no Ichiban Warui Yatsura or something. And it was about, the story is about how, like, I don't remember when. It's either the 80s or the 90s. Japan used to have an incentivized program for its cops where they would get a bonus each time they turned in a handgun. And so cops would purposely ask the Yakuza to import handguns just so they could, like, turn them in and get raises and, like, you know, whatever, right? And so, yeah, you know, that was the thing. So Japan actually had quite a few handguns and stuff, but most of the time now in Japan, if there's a handgun, it's because a stupid tourist accidentally brought it in, or it's like an organized crime thing where they're trying to send a message. So if you want to learn more about guns, I highly recommend reading the manga series Kujo's Big Punishment, or Kujo no Taizai is what it's called in Japanese. It's an ongoing series about a criminal defense lawyer, and they talk about contemporary crime right now in the 2020s in Japan. And it's really interesting, you know, like, basically you know, you're not allowed to have guns, and so a lot of Japanese gangsters or whatever, they'll hide them in very rural countryside where the cops aren't really around that much. And when they use them for, like, to send a message, not just to kill somebody. If they want to kill somebody in Japan, what they do is they just find you, they taser you, and then they'll throw you in a car and they'll duct tape you and put a bag over your head, and then they'll take you out to somewhere rural and just kill you and decapitate you and just disappear you. And it's crazy. Like, I read something online where, like, 50,000 plus people go missing every year in Japan or whatever. Like, they just disappear, they can't find them. And it's like, fuck, bro, god damn. That is proper fucked, mate. But what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Yeah, guys. So that's a fun story topic to talk about, right? But but anyway, the whole thing is like, I don't really know about Australia's gun history aside from, like, what I read really quickly on ChatGPT. But the Mr. In Between, it's cool. It really does show the, like, you know, it gives you that vibe where it's like you don't really know the whole story, but you're like, why are they using old guns? Why are they using such, like, kind of like miniature guns or whatever, you know? And it's like, oh yeah. And then, like, I looked it up too, and it's like, apparently if you get caught with, like, a handgun in Australia, you get, like, automatically 14 years in jail. And it's like, fuck, dude, like, goddamn, that's harsh as fuck. And yeah, and so, like, in Mr. In Between, there's, like, a couple shootout scenes or whatever, and they're using handguns, or they're using Like, there's this one scene where he has this old-ass gun. It looks like something from, like, World War II or something. It's just, like, a very simple tube-like gun with, like, a long, like kind of banana clip, like, from an AK or something on the side of it. And it's really cool. It's very cool, but... Anyway, yeah, God, I haven't even gotten into the story of this, right? So, shit, let me stop playing around with the dogs. So, like, I really like Mr. In Between because it really shows a side of Australia that you don't really get to hear about that much. Like, you always see Australians in Western movies, but they're in America. You don't see a lot of movies in Australia besides the best movie ever to come out by my boys. What was it called again? Bring Her Back? No, that's the new one. Talk to Me, yeah, the Rocka Boys. I would love to see the Rocka Boys do a crime drama. That would be so fucking cool. Yeah, what is it? It's just it's very cool, and it is in fact ma'am. Yeah, like the Mr. In Between it's a story about this guy. I don't remember what city it's in. It might be Sydney or something. I don't know. But it's a story about this guy named Ray. And Ray is a guy he's an Aussie war veteran, or he's an Aussie soldier veteran. I didn't even know Australia had, like, an army. Like, I know that they had, like, groups of dudes that come out and stuff and that are, like, mercenaries and shit, but I didn't know they, like, deployed people. Like, I didn't even know there was, like, an Australian unit. Like, that's one of the things I learned in this show is that, like, Australians went and fought in Vietnam, too. Like, I was like, wait, I thought that was just Americans. It's like, nah, Aussies went and fought in Vietnam, too. And I'm like, what? Because I knew Aussies fought in World War II, but I didn't know they fought in Vietnam. And so, but yeah, like, the main character, he's obviously not just, like, a regular ex-soldier. Like, he's a soldier that was, like, a Green Beret or something. Like, he knows all of these, like, tactics on how to kill people. He knows all these tactics on how to fight people. Like, for some reason, he always carries around a shovel, and he's, like, really good at digging. And I saw a comment where somebody was saying, like, oh, yeah, he's one of those guys that, like, was in one of those things where, like, you had to kind of, like, dig holes and to do, like, strategy for fighting people or something. I don't know. But it's just, like, the whole point of the comment was that, like, he's a really badass motherfucker. He's, like, a Aussie equivalent of a Navy SEAL kind of dude. And I'm like, okay, that's badass. That's pretty cool. And, yeah, the whole story's about this guy, Ray, and he's just this, like, laid-back, chill dude who, you know, he lives by the philosophy of, like, I don't fuck with you unless you fuck with me first, you know? Or unless you're a fucking asshole. And it's a show that divides people, but in a good way. Because, you know, for me, it's like I always watched shows like Dexter before it got super convoluted with the plot. And it's like, you know, I think that a majority of people think the way I think, though, because if they didn't, then shows like this wouldn't be popular in the first place. But Ray is a killer, you know. He was really good at killing. Like, he learned how to kill when he was in the army or whatever, right? And he's really fucking good at killing. And so, like, you know, he comes back from the war or whatever, where he was, and he's like, well, I was pretty good at killing. Maybe I should keep doing that. And so he gets, like, connected with the underworld. You learn all this through, like, kind of backstory with him or whatever, right? And so you're like, okay, that's cool, you know? So, yeah, he does that thing, right? But, so he decides to become a hitman. Like, he works security for his friend's club, but on the down low, he's a hitman, and he's really good at it, too. And he's very professional about it. Like, you know, he's very straight talking, like, straightforward, and he's like, yeah, you want the job done, it's this much, and whatever. And, like, there's even a scene, like, I love it, too, how it's, like, the dialogue just seems so realistic. The people, like, they talk, like, it's like Seth Rogen. I always say everything got Seth Rogenified, like, you know, like Pineapple Express, Superbad, where it's like people talk normal. They don't talk like some made-up script by a guy who didn't have friends in high school, you know? It seems like legit. And, yeah, it's just like, I really fucking like it. I really do. And it's like in this one too, like, you know, there's a scene where he gets hired to do this hit on like a big guy. Like, it's a big deal. And it's like when you like get hired to kill the empire. What is it, the emperor in Skyrim? You know, it's like wow. That's like it's not a small order. And one of the guys underlings that hired him comes up and he's like, hey man, like you haven't done that job yet, like what the fuck? And he's like, dude, the guy's got protection all the time, man, like it's tough. Like, look, if you want your money back and you want to hire somebody else, go for it, but like if you want me to do this, then fucking just hold your tits or whatever and just wait for me. And I love that. He's like yeah, like, you know, because when I think of turning down a hit, especially if it's for like a crime organization or something, and they're like, oh well, they're gonna kill you if you don't, like, you know, I was watching that Johnny Depp Boston Mafia movie or whatever, Black Moss or Dark Moss or whatever the fuck it's called. And like he's gonna hire a guy to kill somebody, but then he changes his mind last minute. He just tells the guy to take the money and keep his mouth shut. But the guy's worried that Johnny Depp's character was gonna kill him anyway, so he rats. Even though Johnny Depp's character wasn't gonna kill him. But like the main character Ray, like he's so self-sufficient and he's so confident that like he's like, nah, if these fuckers try to kill me, the only way they're gonna kill me is if they get lucky. Not because they actually were good at killing. Like, he's like, nobody can beat me. And I really love that attitude that he has. Like, Ray's just a dude who he's like, dude, he's got an ex-wife. He's got a daughter. And, you know, like, he's just trying to live his regular life, but he also does hit jobs. And, you know, it's just, I really love the dialogue. I love characters like this because it's like, movies before the Seth Rogenifying like effect happened, like they wanted to make everybody black and white. Like, you know, you're either extremely evil or you're good. Like, there's no in between. There's no gray area. And unfortunately, Disney and like fucking Amazon have gone the opposite way, where it's like orcs are people too. Orc lives matter, and it's like, what? You know, what? Did you even read the original material? It's like one of the things, you know nothing of my work. It's I really love this though, how it's like, because you know, when I was younger, like I've talked about it before a couple times, but like when I was younger, I got put in foster care for like only like a couple months, and then like the foster parents thought, because I got in one little fight with my brother, they were like, you know, this guy, he's violent, so like we gotta put him in like a group home. And I was like, what the fuck? So I spent a year in a group home, but it was with these guys that were like too dangerous. Like, they had done their time in juvie, but they were too dangerous to go to regular foster homes or go back to their parents. So part of their rehabilitation was being in a group home. So I was spending time in this group home with all these guys who had done all this fucked up shit. Like, one guy had like raped somebody. One dude had set fire to his parents' house, like he burned it down. Another dude had like he had almost killed somebody, but to be fair, you know, from his side of the story, they attacked him first, and he you know, they started the fight, he finished it, kind of thing. But yeah, and then it's just like me. I got, like, you know, I'm 11 years old, and I got in a fight with my brother in foster care, you know? It's like, but, you know, that was that's one thing where, like, I'm really grateful that happened, though, because, you know, up until that point, I'd always been kind of like, you know, when you're with your parents and stuff, especially if they're like drunk alcoholics or whatever, right? Like, it's not that I got beat or anything, but it's just like, you don't really, like, you know, if normal parents, they take their kids out to go experience shit and, like, you know, show them around and like give them experiences, but other kids are just kind of like stuck to their own devices, like in their neighborhood kind of thing, you know? And when I was put in the group home, I learned that even though these guys had done really fucked up shit, except the rapist guy. That guy was always an asshole. Like, that guy was, like, nobody liked him, and, like, I think it's just because, I only found out he was a rapist after he got, like, kicked out of the group home, but, like, yeah, nobody liked that dude. He was always up in everyone's face, and it's just like, yep. But, yeah, like, everybody else, you know, I think that guy was the only sexual dude there, but everybody else that was there, like, they had done all this stupid shit. Like, they had gotten drunk. Like, one guy had tried to, like, rob a gas station and shit while he was drunk when he was, like, 15 or whatever. And it's just... But when I realized, like, with these dudes, it's like, if you don't disrespect these guys, they're not gonna fuck with you, right? And that's one thing that I think a lot of people, like, if you're talking about like the Trump versus Kamala thing, and like the elite, like the people that are like not just graduated from college, but like the people that graduated from really good colleges, and they're like, you just don't understand. It's unfortunate because you with your plumber job and whatever, like you don't understand. You can't understand these complicated things about Democrats fucking making fake programs to steal money from taxpayers, and I don't know. It's just like, I really love Mr. In Between because it just shows like people being real, It's very grounded in reality. And I like that. Like, all the interactions are grounded. It doesn't seem like some like made up hoop de hop kind of bullshit where it's just supposed to make you angry. It's not like rage baiting. Like, I remember like seeing clips from that show, The Rookie or whatever, that new show where it's like a rookie cop, and like he goes on like to see like a domestic charge, and it's a white woman attacking a black guy, and like a big black dude, and I'm like, come on, bro. Like, Hollywood, I see what you're doing, stop it. And they're like, well, we can't be racist anymore. Like, the whole fucking adolescence shit, showing like, oh, it's a white boy stabbing a black girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that happens the most of the time, right? We're going to make a video based on real things, and we're going to base it on the 1% or whatever the fuck small amount it is versus the other one that we are not going to talk about because we don't want to be racist. And, it's like, I appreciate things that go with the original narrative and stuff. And, like, being in that guest house, it's like I realized that, like, these dudes had done fucked up shit, but, like, they didn't hurt people that were out of nowhere. Like, there are mentally ill fucking people that will just like the shit in New York where people are just doing that sucker punch game where they would go behind like old people and sucker punch them. Like, those guys are pieces of shit. Like, like those guys need to be harshly punished. And, because like people like that, you can't talk to them. You can't explain what they did was bad. They're not going to fucking care. They're not going to listen. But then there's people where it's just like, look, I was just, I was in a drug deal and it went wrong, and, these guys tried to fuck me up, so I fucked them up first. And, I'm just saying that, like, most of the time when you're meeting these criminal types, they're not really bad people, or at least they're not irrational people, like, you can do bad shit but still have a code, right? And I think this is one of the things that, like, the Redditors and, like, the super lefty people in the comment section for the Mr. In Between clips or whatever, they don't get it, it's one of the things where they don't understand, where it's like, oh, well, like Ray, like somebody's like, oh yeah, like there's a scene where Ray, he shows that he's like, I don't kill women, I don't kill kids or whatever, and something in the comment section is like, see, even though Ray's a killer, at least he has a code, he has a moral code, and he's professional. And then somebody in the comments is like, yeah, but he's a killer, how can you blah 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 blah. And it's like, these are the retards that are like, you came into our country, like, how dare you send illegal immigrants out of the country? And it's like, they came in illegally. I have Japanese friends that have been trying to get into America legally for years, and the process is so fucking hard. Meanwhile, these guys just get to come in here and they get all your sympathy. Really? Like, God, these people need to be in institutions. Like, they've been brainwashed. They need to be brought back to reality. But I love how Mr. In Between, it's like, it shows both sides of that argument, but in a realistic way. Like, there's a scene where Ray, Mr. In Between, he goes to a Christmas party that his girlfriend invited him to, and it's like, and that's like another cool thing that shows you Australia, is that, like, oh yeah, in Australia the seasons are twisted. So like in summer, during June it's actually cold there, and during December it's hot there. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, like I forgot about that. And like they show that there. But anyway, more importantly, there's a scene where he brought his daughter, and I think like there's only like 2 other kids at the party or whatever, and they're doing Secret Santa or whatever. And so out of all the like the presents are fucking lame, like it's just but then there's this one candle that's like a $10 candle, and it's like a unicorn candle, and the guy Ray knows that his daughter really loves unicorns, so he gives that to her. And then his Ray's girlfriend's brother is like, oh, he got the gift, this Secret Santa gift, and he's like, yeah, I like the other gift better. Or he's like, I want to have that other gift. I don't want that gift. And so he takes Ray's daughter's unicorn candle, and it's like the guy's like a grown man, like he doesn't need a unicorn candle, like what the fuck. And so you know, the guy's out having to smoke, and then Ray goes out and he talks to him, and he's like, hey man, my daughter really loves unicorns, and like, look, like I don't want to ask for it for free or anything. Like, look, it's like a $10 candle. I will gladly pay you $100 right now just for like my daughter to, if you can give that my candle to my daughter. And the guy's just like, what, you think I can't afford a fucking candle, huh? You think that I'm poor or something, you asshole? And Ray's like, what? He's like, no, why are you being a prick, man? It's like, what do you, a grown man, want with a fucking unicorn candle that you can easily afford and buy again somewhere else? You know, he's like, it's not just about like the gift, it's not just about the unicorn thing. It's that like my daughter's gonna have like a memory of like going to this Christmas party and getting this unicorn thing. And the guy's like, you know what? Fuck you, Ray. Fuck you. You know, and like the guy's like, he's a spoiled like older man, right? And so Ray just does what any rational guy does, and he fucking pushes the dude through a glass door, and then the guy's like, Mom, help, you know, and Ray just like busts out of there. And I love it because it's like, you know, Ray at one point he has to join an anger management class, and there's a therapist there, and the anger management therapist is just this like know-it-all goody two-shoes. He's a regular therapist. He's a guy who's never fucking gone out and experienced life. He's never really had any conflict, and yet he just, you know, he thinks that he can stand on this moral high ground of telling other people what they're doing is wrong. And he doesn't have, I mean, like, it's the whole fucking Democrat thing where it's like, you're lecturing people on how to live. Meanwhile, you don't actually experience any of those, you know, you don't experience any of the results you have from the lecturing that you're doing about society. It's like all these, what do they call it? Like ivory tower people. Like I have I have two friends that are both college professors, and they're married in California, and they love talking about multiculturalism and everything and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I look up their town on like Wikipedia or something, and it's a majority white, you know. There's a majority white. There's no fucking illegal immigrants there. It's super safe compared to the rest of California. But they're still going to lecture everybody on how they need to live and why they're fucking up and all this shit. And it's so fucking stupid. But anyway, yeah, it's annoying, right? It's fucking, like, it's hypocritical bullshit. But I love it how Ray, when he's talking to the therapist, he's just like... the therapist is, because he has to go to a group anger management what is it, like session or whatever. It's a court appointed session at one point, and the reason why is because these guys what is it, like these dudes were walking around on the street, and then like Ray's walking there with his daughter, right? And these guys are just being assholes, and they purposely knock into his daughter so she loses, like, her ice cream that she was eating. And then Ray's like, what the fuck's your problem, dude? And the guy's like, what, you want to go? I'll beat you up in front of your daughter right now. And Ray's like, you know what? Like, you know, I'm gonna show I'm gonna be a good role model for my daughter. I'm just gonna let this slide. But then on the way back to their car, Ray's like, oh, he sees them again. He's like, oh, this is a good time to fucking put these guys in their place. And so, like, he tells his daughter to wait in the car, and then he goes over, he finds those guys, and those guys are like, what, you want to fucking go, bitch? And then Ray's just like, okay, good, there you go, suck it, bitch. And Ray's like, yeah. And then, like, Ray just goes up and kicks the dude in the nuts. Then the other guy just runs away like the pussy that he is. And anyway, a cop sees him, and so Ray has to go to anger management. And the therapist is like, Ray, violence doesn't solve anything. And he's like, it does sometimes. And the guy's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I don't know. Example, World War II. You know, like the World Wars. Like, you know, when you have this faction of people that are wrong, that are wanting to kill other people, you know, for the for bad reasons, just for being bad, or they think they're justified. then yeah, like the only way to really get rid of evil is to kill evil. You know, you don't just like talk down evil and you try to like be nice to evil. Like look at history up until now. It's not how it works. You know, like you can be in your liberal little commie schools, public schools in America, being like, you know, Martin Luther King. You slap one cheek and then you get, you know, if somebody slaps you on one cheek, you give them the left cheek or whatever, right? And then, but then there's Malcolm X who's like, hey, we're black, but we're also American, and we can legally own guns. So, like, why don't we just have guns so when these fucking guys come over and they try to fuck with us, we can threaten them with our guns, you know? And it's like, I don't know. It's just, when I was younger, it's like that old saying, like, if you're young and you're not liberal, you don't have a heart. But if you're older and you're not conservative, you don't have a brain. And, I don't know, man. It's just like seeing this stuff where it's just like Ray points out all the hypocrisy of all these people that are like quote unquote having your best interest at heart, but really they're not. They're just fucking hypocrites that are trying to tell you how to live, meanwhile not experiencing any of the consequences of their own stupid fucking opinions and shit. And yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's nice, and it is, ma'am. But yeah, I don't know. I really like. I really love Mr. In Between for that. It's such a good show. It's simple. It shows off Aussie life. Again, like I don't think a lot of people outside of Australia know much about Australia. Like they don't really know the whole deal of Australia. They don't know what Australia looks like. They don't know like how people talk over there. And I love the fucking series. Like it's one of those series where it's like after I watched it, because it's only 3 seasons. Like after I watched it, I'm like, I want to watch it again. Like I want to learn more about it. Like it's so funny. You go online and you see all these interviews from the people that were in the show, but there's not that many interviews of the guy who actually made the show. Scott Ryan, I think his name is. And it's so cool because that guy, Scott Ryan, like he originally made a movie called The Magician, which is like supposed to be like a documentary showing off like a hitman, and the only reason he's allowing people to see the movie is because the hitman is dead or something in the story. And I don't know, it's really cool. It's a very good movie. I mean, it's like very low budget and shit, but if you guys like the show, you'll love that movie. But the whole point is that like the main guy, Scott Ryan, the guy who plays Ray, the guy who wrote the fucking series, this is like his first acting gig ever. Like he wasn't, in Australia, I remember hanging out with the Rocka guys, and it's like you needed to, like in Australia, they're very anal about like if you want to act or whatever, you have to be part of like an actors guild. You have to have an agency. Like they, there's no Mel Gibson shit. Like Mel Gibson when he wanted to do the Road Warrior, right? Like when he was doing the Road Warrior, he only did that because his friend wanted to audition for the Road Warrior, and then like he drove his friend there, and then the director's like, hey, that was a good audition, but what about your mate over there? And he's like, oh, I'm just the driver. And he's like, no, come over here and do an audition. I guess maybe they did that so much that like Australians got like, it's one of those things where like too many people complained about it, so now it's like they have to do it like legit. Everything's through an agency and everything, and if you're not, they're not even going to touch you. And but yeah, it's just like it's cool to see this guy who barely had any acting experience, and he talks about this. Like I listened to, like that's what you do when you finish the series. You want to learn more about it. So what I did was like I went online and tried to find interviews and podcasts with the guy where he was talking more about his process and the history behind the show. And like this was like his first ever like legit acting gig, and like he fucking nailed it. And like he's so good. He's such a good fucking. He like I guess he kind of plays himself pretty well, But one thing that was cool that I learned about, like when he was talking about the show, is that like when they were casting people to play the side characters for the show, most people when they're doing casting, they're casting because they think that person would do like they would look good in the show, or it's a Chris Pratt thing where it's like they're gonna sell so many tickets just because people love that celebrity kind of thing. But in Mr. In Between, like what they were doing, like what the focus was of that was that they were trying to find people that interacted with Ray, Scott Ryan's character, the best. So like when they would come in and do the casting, they would have him talk to them directly and see like if they had like a good dynamic or whatever. And if they did, that's how they would decide who would be the character. And I was like, wow, like I don't think I've seen like any, because like I remember like for Lost in Translation or something, I remember Sofia Coppola said that she wasn't going to do the movie unless Bill Murray was the main character. Like if he wasn't going to be the main character, she was going to scrap the movie. And I was like, that's really cool. That's awesome. And so I don't know, I just like same thing for this. It's like I guess they were like, yeah, like it's like kind of a Rocky situation, you know. Stallone wanted to be he wanted to play Rocky, and all these places were like, yeah, we'll buy your script, but you can't be the main character because you're a nobody. Nobody knows you. It doesn't matter if you're a good actor or something. Nobody knows you, so nah, tough titty. And so he took a big pay cut, and finally, like he found a studio that was willing to hire him, but they were gonna pay him grossly under the regular price. And then Stallone ended up taking like half of that money to buy his dog back. He like sold his big fucking Mastiff dog to somebody, just so he could like fucking afford food and shit. And then, you know, after he gets money from that, he's like, I want my dog back, please. I'll pay you whatever you want. And the guy's like, God, nah, dude. Like, I like this dog. I wanted this dog. Stallone's like, what? Okay, I'll give you like 10 grand and I'll put you in the movie. And the guy's like, okay, yeah, you can have your dog back. It's just like, I don't know. It's cool to see that this guy, Scott Ryan, like I only found out about Mr. In Between because of YouTube and short. Like all these people complaining about YouTube Shorts and TikTok or whatever. Well, I don't have TikTok installed on my computer. Like fuck that commie fucking spyware bullshit. But I really love YouTube Shorts because like it just randomly shows you cool stuff sometimes, and it's kind of like Breaking Bad or like The Wire or something. Like when you see something like this, you know, you get interested, like it piques your curiosity and it makes you want to like dive more deeply into it. And so like I had already gotten like major points of Mr. In Between spoiled for me thanks to YouTube Shorts, but luckily like it'd been a while, so I had forgotten most of these. But like Mr. In Between, it's great. And like I just like, again, like there's so many scenes that take place, like for example, like in the Aussie wilderness and shit, right? And like the great thing is like if you see a scene that you like now in like the 2020s or whatever, you can go on YouTube and look for that scene in that TV show or YouTube or like a TV show or movie, right? And somebody's probably uploaded it online already, and you can go there and you can read the comments of what people are saying about it. And I really like that because like you'll like for example, there's one scene where he's in this old house in the countryside, and somebody's like, they could have just done this in a studio and made it all fake and lame, and he's like, nah, but this is like legit Australian countryside, and I can tell because I lived in the countryside of Australia, and there's certain birds that you cannot hear unless you're in the countryside, and you can hear those birds in the background. And he's like, it's just minor details like this really make the show so special. It's like they really do their homework of everything and they're creative about it, but they still have like, it's still based in a huge dosage of realism. And I love it. It's so funny. Like, you know, I posted this on Facebook because I got a lot of Aussie friends on there thanks to going to Australia. And like none of my Aussie friends had fucking watched the show. And I'm like, if you guys haven't watched the show, then what are you watching, you know? And they're like, oh, mate, we watch American shows and stuff. And I'm like, man, Australia, you got to have more pride in your stuff, dude. Come on. You know, Foster's, Australian for beer. But anyway, there's so much more I could talk about regarding the show Mr. In Between. But yeah, guys, I recommend, like, find it if you can stream it. If you can torrent it, but like check it out. Like this is like, especially if you don't know much about Australia, like it's such a cool deep dive into learning about that country, and I think you guys will really, really, really enjoy it. So yeah, I liked it so much I made a fucking hour-long rant where I'm talking about it just to tell you guys about it. So yeah, anyway, that's I guess that's it for today's rant. What did you guys think about today's rant. Are you gonna watch Mr. In Between? If you haven't seen it, are you gonna watch it now that you've listened to me? Do you have any other? If you're Australian or you know any Australian good movies or TV shows, please, I'm looking for more. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, like always, guys. You know, we always do a live stream after this, so we'll probably be talking more about the show after the live stream comes out. But yeah, it's just this was such like a nice treat, and I've been meaning to watch this show for so long, and I'm so happy that I finally was like, you know what, like, because I got sick, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just like, okay, I got like, this is not gonna be fixed for a couple days. I'm gonna just sit down and watch some TV shows. And what's a TV show I've been meaning to watch for a while? Okay, Mr. In Between, and I'm really happy I did it. And it makes me want to go visit Australia again. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, guys, thanks always for watching. Smash the like button. And yeah, if you want to check out more of these rants, I'm gonna put them in the top comments. So go over and binge them. And also, if you go to my profile page, I've made multiple playlists depending on the category of what I'm talking about. So this is probably going to go in the media playlist that I've made there. So if you want to hear me talk about more anime or TV shows or movies, go check out the rest of the stuff in that playlist. But anyway, like always, guys, stay black, love your faces, and Otskare-sama deshita. Yeah, buddy.